Greetings, adventurers. This is DM Kurt, and usually these videos are to educate you in your D&D games, give you some advice, some hints, inspiration, or whatnot. But this one's a little different. I'm going to have to share two successes I just had as a DM. The first success is that I ran and completed a campaign, and everyone had fun. It was great. I'll tell you about it. The second was I just handed over the DM screen to a brand new, freshly minted DM who's ready and excited to run his own games. We started out with introducing him to D&D and letting him play, and he enjoyed it, and he's really come a long way as a player and is ready to work it, strike it out on his own as a DM. My campaign, this was really one of my first biggest attempts at running a sandbox. I called the campaign The Colony at Terra Incognita, and I ran it as heavily inspired by the colonization of early America. We had the PCs hired on as a scout squad for a duke who was both a wealthy man and a very militarily experienced man who was running his own little colony in this new world, this new large island, for whom I took the map off of the boxed set for basic D&D, the expert set with the Isle of Dread. I know a lot of you have played Isle of Dread. It's a good map. You can use maps from other things as long as you do the right thing. If it's a pay-for material, pay for it and give everybody the proper credit and whatnot. But good map. So anyway, the Duke starts up a colony. Short version, Aarakocra tribes, kind of Stone Agey, are in the area. The PCs end up negotiating peace with them. They end up meeting and befriending a large Aarakocra who claims to be the prophet of the tribe's god, a creature that they call the Great Thunderbird. It is the size of a roc, R-O-C, the big bird from 2nd edition whose claws are so big it could pick up an elephant. They find a destroyed fort on the other side of the island, the Dwendalian Empire from the Tal'Darai books. Then they kind of realize that fort was destroyed by a giant creature. Maybe it's a good thing we made peace with the Aarakocra. The party ends up going into the Underdark, fighting some Darrow, who we renamed as the Tokelos, or the Moon-Eyed People, borrowing names from South African folklore and Appalachian Cherokee area folklores. And I'll get into the renaming and reskinning and customizing of monsters in future videos. That's going to be a multi-part series, so none of the videos are individually too long. They may eventually meet a tribe called the Alseid. The Alseid are a monster from the Kobold Press books. They are like a centaur, except the top half's a wood elf and the bottom half's a deer. So very centaur-like, but they're their own little tribe. I have hinted that the Stone Age Aarakocra, a lot of them have mithril weapons, which is kind of jarring and out of place. So the PCs might have to eventually deal with that later. Just find out where. The party found that there were these things called the Subek, which are a lizard man type creature, again from Kobold Press, which were very nasty. They nearly whooped the tar out of the PCs, so the PCs decided to go tell the Dwendalians, oh yeah, there's some totally friendly lizard men over in that area. You guys should check it out. Using persuasion rolls and high die rolls, the Dwendalians fell for it. Eventually, we ended up with a climactic battle, which finished with the bad guys would have totally wiped out the good guys. The Dwendalians would have destroyed the Tal'Darai forces. They outnumbered them greatly. They had a necromancer riding a zombie owlbear. They had a high elf eldritch knight who was whipping around a great axe of sharpness. And the leader himself, the Baron Harkonnen, was a wolf totem barbarian slash lycanthrope who was just absolutely nasty to deal with. Therefore, granted, the Duke, on the other hand, high-level conquest paladin, but by himself, he wasn't going to stem that tide. The PCs showed up at the fort as the final battle was already getting started, just throwing them in there of, okay, here it is, and it looks bad. What are you going to do? They fought their way through. One of the PCs got the killing blow on the bad guy. Victory and justice for all. It ended up being a really fun campaign, and the players afterwards seem to have enjoyed it. But now we have a new DM, and we're really looking forward to that. Thanks, guys, and gals, for listening to my videos, and please like and subscribe. And I'll get onto those custom monster videos real soon. Thanks. Bye.